Ta-da! Well, welcome, boys and berries. It is Thirsty Thursday. I got my Java sensation here. Do you have yours? Here at the Synergy Cafe and the Magic Brad Show, hence the little name up here. And it's Thursday, and I'm going to go into the green room and knock on the door, see if Bo's dressed. He's back there putting on his yellow suit. No, he's not putting on his yellow suit, but he does have a yellow suit. It's kind of interesting. So let's go get him. Hey, dude.
Hey, I couldn't help but hear that. Yes, it is interesting, the yellow suit. That's true. It is true. But it's funny because you remember that, right?
You got to do it.
Yeah, yeah. It is great to see you, man. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's because you went on a, what would you call it? Like a playcation work
Yeah, it was a work. It was a convention, right? So it's the type of thing that you have to qualify for. We've been very fortunate to have qualified 16 consecutive years, and we were able to celebrate a little bit. But I would have made it to the call pretty much any other time, but last Thursday was 13 hours at Universal Studios. So at the time this meeting would have happened, I was engaged with my family and a million other people at Universal Studios. So that it just wasn't going to work out, you know? Yeah, but it was cool.
It's cool going to those conventions and reuniting with people you haven't seen for a long time. And
yeah, it was even a little different this year. We had like we came in 3 different waves, right, from our regions that we have in our company. So that was, it was a little less people than sometimes we've had the whole company that qualified, right? So in this case, so for example, our last night there, we had a private concert with none other than Miss Kelly Clarkson. Cool. And she's incredibly talented. And it was one of the first concerts or shows she's done in a long time. Mm-hmm. And she was laughing and they were a little rusty and they missed some things and there were some mix-ups and it was good. But it was just human, right? It was just, she's incredibly talented. And I happened to, because we celebrated 15 years consecutively, we got to move towards the front. And our seating was literally the second row of tables. And you weren't supposed to get up and move around. There's still some COVID restrictions. So I had like unbelievable seats for this concert. And there was less than 1,000 people there to see this rock star. So it was really neat experience. So yeah. And then I got to see some more.
Always fun. If you're a member of any organization or things like that or whatever, just going to those conventions, there's a lot of things that happen. And there's a lot of people that are trying to create these, they call them virtual events, but they're really digital events because they're still real events. They just happen to be online.
Yeah.
They're trying to duplicate that in-person experience, and you really can't. It's tough because you see people in the concession stand. You might go to go get some air outside. You might go to the restroom and bump into somebody in the restroom.
Yeah.
You don't have that on Zoom.
Yeah, you're right. And you've called that out before, that you see them across the room. It's like, I have got to go see them kind of thing, right? And I had that experience actually on the way out of the concert. When we were done, there's one guy that I had not seen yet. A good friend of mine, he's a manager with the company. We came into the management side together, and he's just awesome. And I had not seen him the entire trip. And sure enough, I walk out, and there he is standing there. And I found, and that was our last night. I'm like, I have to see this guy before I leave town, and finally got to see him. So, but those things don't happen on the virtual.
You got a big screen with 1,000 little postage stamps. So
yeah.
It's different. You see the character and the swag in their walk and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had a friend, another mentor and a friend that I hadn't seen and I was hoping to see when I was there. And I caught him like this ginormous pool, right? That it kind of goes and waves and this and that. And there's a grotto over here and there's this. And I see him all the way down the end of this pool. He's wearing his Iowa Hawkeye t-shirt. And I'm like, I've got to go see him. I pretty much risked drowning and swam all the way down there to go see him and his family. And, but in a digital world, I wouldn't have known he was at the end of the pool. Right. So I much prefer, however, by the time we were done, being around so many people, whether it be at Universal Studios, whether it be at the convention, all that, I wasn't peopled out, but I was kind of ready to get back into my own little little mini world of my family in my own home.
That happens, all that different type of energies and personalities and stuff, and it's like, geez, I just don't want to hear that lady laugh anymore. She did at first, but I don't want to hear that laugh anymore.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't have anybody that bothered me too much for the laughter, but it was really there was a lot of great energy there. Yeah. And anytime I go to these conventions, there's people are there intentionally. They're usually some of the winners, if you will, not always complaining, and it's just great. Can only share some ideas and things like that. So yeah. Now, how about you though? Enough about me and my week and my travels. What about you?
Well, my thing's all about events.
Yeah. Yes.
So I've been working on that and trying to get some things going again. It's still a little bit of a challenge. People are still a little bit hesitant, unless they're actually in the event. I mean, you go to some of these AGC events, some of these other conventions, they seem to be just fine being there. Mm-hmm. But before you get there, there's this kind of hesitancy of, do I really want to invest the time? So it's hard to get things going, but working at it. I've got some things. There's a fellow magician over in Wisconsin Dells. I want to put together a group to go over there, and we're going to be doing a networking cruise. I'm going to weave AGC into that.
Nice.
That's going to be coming up next month or so.
I like it. Travis
and Dan and I are going to have a little conversation next Wednesday and hammer some things out. So that's kind of what I've been up to, just the same old kind of deal. It's kind of what I do. Other than I changed my background a little bit.
I like it.
I moved the Magic Lounge sign out and just put a little darker background. But
you got somebody grabbing your shoulder right now. It's you grabbing you.
Oh, ouch. I hit myself.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I saw that you pitched a little better appreciation and some of that for this chat today. Is that correct?
I put this up there.
Look at that. You were always ready.
Well, I like to have a different thumbnail because this actually goes onto YouTube and it shows different things rather than a chain of all the same thing, and that might attract people. And that's kind of what this is about is, you want more clients, you got to show that you care.
Yeah.
And we talk about that thing.
Yeah, I noticed a company that we both represent, right? MailBoxPower, they had a lunch and learn yesterday. Mm-hmm. And it was another great conversation between Joe Kennemore and Vanessa Hunter. And just basically talking about kind of nurturing your network and staying in touch with them and different ways to do that via automation or, the one-offs. And it's just so important to stay top of mind. It's so important to, I'm going to chat about this a little bit. I've got the pleasure of being a speaker at AGC event next month. And people do business with people that they know, like, and trust, but they have to remember you too. And there's some magic in being memorable, right? And staying top of mind and standing out a little bit. And there's many different ways to do that, right? So there can be the obnoxious guy in a yellow suit, which is completely over the top, right? But there's also the ones that are just quiet, that have this kind of calm aura about them, that sit and just observe, but yet when they speak, there's great intention in there, and those people are memorable to me too. So it doesn't require you to be this obnoxious fool like me to be memorable.
No, you're not a fool. Nathan France is one of those, very intelligent guy, but he's kind of low key.
Yeah.
Unless he gets up on the stage and he's supposed to speak, he's very eloquent and well spoken.
Right.
Other than that, he's very passive. He's just a guy hanging out.
Yeah. Sharp dressed guy. I mean, there's certain things about him, right, that kind of stand out, but everybody has their own thing, right? And I know when I was younger, there's things that I did that, looking back, I was seeking attention a little bit, but there wasn't much, it was seeking attention, but I wasn't real intentional about it. Whereas now when I go to a networking event or I do something like that, there's some intentionality behind what I'm doing, right? When I'm connecting with somebody, I'm trying to really focus on them. I'm trying not to get distracted by the concession stand person, right? And I want to listen to what they have to say and hopefully can provide some value to that. And that's just something I've kind of learned along the way, instead of just me, and me just spewing product knowledge or, that. Just try to step back and be engaging because people want to be heard. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the chat and talk about that. And in the end, you just hope that you leave people a little better than you found them,
Well, with this program, this MailBoxPower thing, this is my affiliate link for those that don't know. And Bo and I work with the same platform because we're affiliates of it, because we thought, what the heck, we're using this thing, why not earn a little bit of money from it too? So we became affiliates. But you don't have to be an affiliate.
Right.
Use it to do your thing. I just got done doing another postcard. I want to show you. Where the heck is it? Why in the heck don't I see it?
Where's it at?
I don't know. That's really
while you're looking, that whole thing with affiliate, I've really been giving that much thought lately. You find it?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But it's just the thing. Well, the point I guess I was trying to make is you can do a subdued type postcard that has a picture that has like a caring kind of thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do something bizarre and weird, like a guy screaming or something that when they see that, it's a different kind of energy. So it's a yellow suit kind of guy versus a passive Nathan France kind of guy.
Right.
Yeah, with your graphic design stuff when you're trying to communicate your image. And the same thing with like when we send out gifts and things.
Yeah.
This image can be whatever image you put on there.
Right. Right. And it's an interesting thing. For those that aren't familiar with this MailBoxPower, is that there's designs that are out there, and there's been these are done by professionals that understand fonts matter, colors matter, the scheme matters. It depends on the audience that you're sending something to, right? Mm-hmm. Because like I said, if I send something out, I went through this process of updating and improving my LinkedIn profile and my Facebook kind of background. And there was so much intentionality behind that. There are colors that matter. The audience that I'm trying to cater to, I'm looking at business professionals, I'm looking at educators, I'm looking at people that value kindness, they value a relationship. So there's a certain scheme you should be using to make sure that pops for them when they see my profile. Whereas if I want to be this bold guy, there'd be lots of reds and blacks, I think, and all different colors and just more of like this. The picture would be totally different of me, right? And so so you can use in the system, you can send one batch of postcards to this kind of group if you know the audience, and then another batch to this group, and that really helps. So
going back to the theme, so to speak, of I use that phrase: people don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
And when you could, like, aside from the graphic design element of it, what if you send a picture of their dog, or a picture of their kids, or a picture of their new cabin that you sold them, or the picture of the new boat that you just insured them with,
Right. Yeah.
Just like that, it creates that immediate person-to-person.
Sure. Well, and many of us are connected in a social media platform somewhere, right? Not all of my clients and I are friends, or we follow each other, whatever. But there's several. I'm not afraid to connect them both on my personal side or on the business page. Mm-hmm. And there's people that have so many more contacts than I do. But when you are looking through the feed, so for example, we have a client. We have one product, one policy in the entire household. We don't have the whole thing. But this individual just got her master's. And she took a picture of her with her diploma, and just you can see the pride coming through. Right? That's a milestone in life. And it's something that should be celebrated. So what did I do? I took that picture and put it on a gigagram, which is this huge 8x11 card, and centered that picture of her with her diploma. And then congratulations, thanks. You chased your dream, and we love to see people make their dreams happen. And those things are not forgotten when you send that to somebody to celebrate their milestone in their life. It doesn't have to be a mug. It doesn't have to be brownies. It doesn't have to be a cutting board. It can be a greeting card, but celebrating people's milestones in their life that they shared with you that they're proud of. Absolutely. Capture them.
That kind of goes back into the whole event thing. And that's part of the reason I'm interested in events and travel, that kind of thing. Because when you go to, I still remember the first time I went to Jamaica and we stayed in Ocho Rios up in this big villa and looking down on it. I still remember that. That is ingrained in my head. So if that's something that like someone graduates and it's a milestone event, it's not going to go away like a 8-track tape did,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We've had people where, they shared some pictures, their favorite pictures of their trip. and we've had those printed on coasters and sent them to them and said, these are these images they love of their vacation. And now these are coasters that are just around their house that they'll use on occasion, or they'll be sitting there as a stack when needed, when they have company. And then what happens? The company says, that's really cool.
They start talking about it. Yep, absolutely. Like you gave me this little phone holder thing. I use this to be a monitor sometimes. I put my phone on there and I can kind of monitor what I'm doing here.
Sure.
And then you gave me this little business card holder that has my little magic Brad thing on it. Looks a little bit. So all these little things I've still got over here. And when they're out and about, if someone sees it, they look at it. So it always brings things top of mind. I think that's important. But
it is.
The main thing is I didn't ask you to send me these things.
Right.
And that's kind of what got us doing this video and got us tighter bonded when you sent me this coffee mug with my name of my show on it.
Yeah.
And a coaster to match.
and it is crazy that doing that, when I decided to do that, I would have never forecasted what came out of that. Right. The fact that we've had, outside of me bailing on us last week so I could walk a bazillion steps in Universal Studios and get poured on and having to buy an overpriced poncho, that's a whole other story. But we've had this connection since, and that is awesome. Our relationship's stronger, right? We've met more people. It's just a fabulous thing. And, it was just a kind of a minimal investment, if you will, into, I want to know this guy. I want to meet this guy. I want to know him a little bit better. So
it's fun how it happens when you take something out of it. I mean, it was a concept. It's basically etheric. Good word.
Give me that word.
Like the ethers.
Etheric. Oh yeah, it's very cool.
It's kind of like it's just an idea that's floating around.
Yeah.
And then you take this idea and you put it on this mug, and someone manufactures it and brings it into the physical world, and now it's here. It's tangible.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool when that happens, and then the longevity. And it went into another thing where you got connected with my wife, and then you sent us that little cheese board, and she's been wanting one of those things. She's just crazy about it. She loves it.
Did it come out for the housewarming party thing that you had? Was it used?
We ran to the farmer's market, and there's a guy that comes there from Wisconsin with Wisconsin cheese. So we always buy about $100 worth of cheese from this dude.
Yeah.
And we had that all laid out, these different cheeses on the cheese
I
board.
love it. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like the assortment of items that the system allows you to use, right? Whether you're doing one-offs or you want to use the automation features. We talked about realtors quite a bit, but, I love to see, by the way, what your realtor did for you and sent you that picture, like the watercolor type thing that I saw.
They must have hired somebody to they took the picture of the house and had someone actually do it.
I love that. I think that is so neat. I know that there's people that use the same system we do, and there's apps out there, right, that can take a photo and turn it into kind of a watercolor like thing, or it can change it into they use kind of unique colors. I'll show you. Like this is kind of something our chamber director wrote this book, Goodnight Hutchinson, right? All of the pictures that are in here, she took, Mary Hodson, which is really awesome. Well, and then I'm not sure how she got it to the way they are, like if it's an app or if she really painted it, I don't know, but there's things out there that allow you to do that. And so there's some people that use a system that'll like that. They'll have a picture of a home or they'll have a picture of something and they use an app and they use that to send a card or send we have metal prints, right? There's just so many different things that you can use the system for. And I love the idea of sending somebody a laser engraved cutting board or a laser engraved charcuterie tray.
I'm really liking the physical mail thing, not male, female, but mail postcards.
Right. Right. They work.
Physical mail thing. That's not what I meant.
Yeah. I'm helping somebody right now who they have a client that's trying to find a solution for postcards. And they want to every quarter at the minimum want to send 4,000 to 5,000 postcards. And they want a system that's going to make the process easy to send use a list and to do this. This system is perfect for that. Perfect.
People move and they change their addresses so they come back.
Yep.
All I do is I go into it, I update the address that's in there. Mm-hmm. And all you do is you go and you grab that same card that you sent and put it in the shopping cart and then search that person's name and click on it and resend it out.
Resend it. Yeah.
It's really, really easy to do it.
It is. Yeah. Easy process. Yeah, I sent out a few things before I left town that for some new clients, and just as kind of a testimonial to that, because I've had people ask, well, what does it really do for you? Using it in my insurance agency, and when you hear comments from people saying, I was really confident I made the right choice to switch to you or to choose you as my agency of choice, and then they get this surprise gift in the mail. And I hear it over and over, like, I knew I made the right choice, but this is just totally unexpected, over the top, incredibly thoughtful and personalized. Thank you. And in the end, that secures that relationship for at least for a little while. You know what I mean? It insulates it from the competition at least for a little while. And it's worth every bit of it. And
that's what I'm trying to get at. It's tough talking with people. They say, what does it do for you? And there's nothing that kind of is like instant gratification kind of thing. Even if you go and you buy a cup of coffee, it takes time for them to brew it before they can give it to you.
Right. Right.
Be patient.
Yeah. And in today's world, we've learned in every industry, this has been an exercise in patience. I don't care if you go to a restaurant where everything is slower right now, and everybody's got to be patient. So, but yeah, sending out a postcard or sending out a card, whether it be for prospecting or for thank yous. I've had other people say to me, well, yeah, there's a cost to this. So can you justify it? I'm like, well, yeah, I know the number of referrals that I have increased. I know my retention of clients has improved, which ultimately pays, right? And I don't care what business I'm in, and I've had different businesses. If I'm not willing to spend 1% to 2%, up to 5%, maybe even 10% to say thank you, that generates even more activity, then I'm missing the boat. I mean, you just have to be willing to spend a little money to make some money, And
can you justify? You go to the fair and buy a $3 or $6 glass of lemonade. Can you justify that?
No. Hey, I had butterbeer.
I do it.
Yeah, are you familiar with butterbeer?
I'm not.
Okay, butterbeer, Harry Potter, and that's their thing. It's butterbeer, and the lines were ridiculous, and I didn't even know what the price was, but butterbeer, and I got it. Yeah, and it's basically kind of a root beer cream soda mix with literally like butterscotch foam on the top. It's delicious, but I paid a fortune. You're right about that. You just kind of justify some things. I went and I was told that I have to get the magic wand when I go to Universal Studios, before we go to the Harry Potter experience or whatever. I didn't even ask the price. It was ridiculous. I just knew that I was leaving with it. I went to the gift store and I say, okay, somebody told me I have to get a wand that makes magic happen here. Like, yeah, we have all these choices from all the different characters, and you can get their wand, and it's a replica of their wand. And it's interactive. So tell me more. Well, there's like 20 places across 2 parks where you stand in a specific spot and you wave the wand in a certain spell and say the spell, things happen. Like, it makes the water fountain go. It makes the water fountain squirt the person behind you. It makes all these, and it's magical to watch a kid.
Like that.
To watch, yeah, and it's all using LED lights. I don't know how it does it, but it knows what you're doing. And it's so incredibly magical. Like, I watched my 11-year-old just like jump up and down for joy because she made it happen. I'm thinking, this is so cool. But once again, the price of that wand, it's valid there in that park only. It's the only place that's going to do the magic.
How much was it?
$60.
So you had that experience, and you get to take the wand home.
Yep.
But the experience is still there.
The experience is there. It won't work anywhere else, but it's okay because we had bought a Harry Potter Snape wand or whatever for like $12 before, and it was more. It doesn't do anything. It's just cool, right? So yes, we all justify certain experiences at whatever price, but yet for some reason, to give a client an experience, right, a personalized gift or something like that, there's this hesitation. There shouldn't be.
There is, because you don't know about everybody talks about the ROI or return on your investment.
Yeah.
A postcard's 37 cents. Some of the gifts are, I don't know, what's the most expensive product that's in there?
I think the most expensive is the grill kit that's laser engraved, and I think it's probably $70 or $80.
See, what is it, a little spatula and a little fork?
Yeah, it's got all of those things. They're bamboo in this great case. Like it's almost
$70 anyplace else.
Yeah, it's so nice. You almost don't even want to use it and use it on your grill. Like it's so nice. But yeah, I think that's the most expensive gift right now.
Yeah, it is a matter of just rationalizing. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
I think that if you value your clients, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, and once again, we've talked about this over and over. It doesn't have to be a thing of brownies. It doesn't have to be a mug. It doesn't have to be a bigger ticket item like a cutting board or whatever. Sometimes it's just a 50-cent greeting card that really shows you care, right? I do these for sympathy cards. When they have a client that loses a pet, we always make there's always pictures on it, and we make an ornament and send it with a card. That's a sympathy card for the loss of the pet. And
so many cool things you can do. Like, I don't know if I got the one with yes, I do. This one here, the QR codes.
Yeah.
Those are still valid.
Right.
They still work. So
right.
It's also the strategy of how you use something like this. If you did this on those stick-ups, and like you talked about the oil change, or if a restaurant has, a lot of restaurants have those electronic menus now. You could just make those. If you got a small restaurant where it's not taken care of by the franchise, you could just do it on those stick-ups and put them on all the different tables. They scan it in, and there's the menu, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You could do something like that. There's a lot of different. If you just get creative with your brain, you can justify it.
Yeah, and the stick-ups are really, really a neat, kind of probably an underutilized tool. And then you go back to that QR code. We have a family golf outing here in a few weeks, okay? Every year we've had an auction at the end. And prizes and all this stuff, but because of COVID and some restrictions, you kind of got to get out of the place. We're not having it, but we still want to have a fundraiser. We're raising money for the Children's Cancer Connection down in Iowa. And it was my sister who said, why don't we make a poster with the QR code that people can scan that takes them directly to the charity so they can donate, because some people want to donate, but we have to make it easy for them. And I'm like, there you go. The QR code is really a popular and very powerful tool, and most people are familiar with it now. And so we're going to be able to raise money for a charity that way, just because we're going to have a poster or a stick up or what have you there with a QR code. Slick. And if you're using that in your marketing, that's taking people to your website, it's taking them to your video, taking them where you want them to land, because you sent a physical postcard and you want to take that to the next step. Why would you not use a QR code? It's too easy. And it's trackable. You can know how well your marketing is working. So another thing in this system, right? So put your thing back up. People should check out your MailBoxPower.
There we go. Ta-da!
So if you're watching this, you've listened to all this, just go check this out. There's a 14-day free trial, and it gives you all these bells and whistles. And then you have questions, you reach out to Brad, and Brad's going to help you out. Right?
Yeah, there's not a lot of questions. I mean, maybe to figure it out a little bit, but it's just like everything else. I mean, I was having issues with my Gmail the other day. I couldn't figure some things out, and that's been going for a while. So you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Just
right on.
Figure it out.
What do you have planned for the rest of the day and the week?
For the day, I've got, well, let me check, because I do have another call I got to do today. Oh, there's this thing called Verbella.
Verbella.
Yeah, it's it's connected with the event industry to be able to do a virtual event stuff. So I'm going to have a demo of that, because I want to be prepared if for some reason the event expo can't happen in March. I want to have the ability to do something online, because we're still in that. I mean, when this COVID thing happened, I never expected that the world would shut down. I never thought that.
Huh.
So now I'm prepared. I don't know if it's going to happen again. So I got that. And then I'd like to make a trip to the magic store, because I haven't seen Larry for a couple of weeks. So
there you go.
I love it. That. And so a little bit more on MailBoxPower. This is one of the things that I'm going to do with this, because I got these synergy socials, I'm calling them.
Mm-hmm.
The longevity of this, I want to be able to just send out a card that says, keep this card, because like I'm a big with constants and variables, right? Events are variables. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, right?
Uh-huh, yeah.
But this is a constant. This can always be there. So keep this card and then scan this variable because there's another event coming up. You can scan the event and takes you to a web page that has the current event on it.
Sure. Okay.
Longevity of something like this. I want to get people to actually keep it, maybe even put it in their wallet instead of having to, what was that domain name again? And typing it into your phone.
Yep.
You just scan with your camera and go there and find
And
out
then
the next AGC event.
you hold on to it, but then it's updated behind the scenes so that when they scan it, it's new, it's refreshed.
Update on the dynamic and ever-changing internet.
Yeah. That's a great idea, Brad. I mean,
it's here forever. So that way you can find out when's the next AGC event. You just scan the code.
Scan the code.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And if anybody's in that space or they're in advertising or whatever it is, like that's a brilliant concept of saying I'm going to stay fresh and top of mind. So I'm anxious to hear how that goes.
It's going. So this is my deal is events. And then what we're talking about today, of course, is the get more clients and show you care.
Yep.
It's the way it works. I mean, it's kind of interesting how people are always looking for this, open rate on emails and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's just treat people nice and they'll treat you back with their pocketbook, I think.
They will. It's interesting because so many things have become transactional, right? Yeah. I look at some of the competition that I have in the insurance space that they've really commoditized this whole industry. Like they have commercials, you go buy it off the shelf. That is not what this is. There's so much conversation that has to take place to properly insure somebody. Mm-hmm. And it's not, in my opinion, it's not something just to be bought off the shelf. You could start the shopping process, that, but having a conversation to make sure you have the coverage you need, because most of us don't understand it, right? I don't know what I'm buying. I just bought what I bought. There was good, better, best. I bought better. And that's not, in my opinion, that's not the best way to do it. It's too important. And you don't want to be undercovered and find out, for $2 more a month, I could have taken care of that so I didn't get sued. Yeah. Totally. Right. So there's so much value to that. But because the industry and many have just turned into this transactional thing where it's just, I'm going to take your money and I'll pay you if we need to. No, there's more to it than that. There needs to be a relationship there. And if staying in touch with your clients and staying top of mind helps build that and recognizing their milestones, you need to do that, to separate yourself. There's no secret magic bullet for this thing. You just care, like you said. Just
for everybody that's in business, there was a book. Her name. She's in Chicago. Her name is Melissa Giovanoli. She wrote a book called Networlding. So it was different than networking. Because usually networking is, hi, I sell cell phones. You anybody that is looking for a cell phone? And if you could you refer them to me? That's that networking thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what if all of a sudden next month you lose your cell phone job and you're working for the church or you're working for doing something else? If you bond the relationship, like with you're selling insurance. What if all of a sudden you're not selling insurance anymore? I still know you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would hope that I have built enough relationship and enough trust that
I love my mug.
Well, the next endeavor I go into, that you'd be willing to, maybe either support it, give it consideration, whatever it is. But I think what's forgotten in the whole networking space is that the network is not just the people you know. It's so much wider than that. It's the people you know and the people they know. So that when that thing comes up, right, you need to build your network before you need it. That's a key thing. But there's a time in life, likely for many people, that's like whether it's I'm looking for a new job, and you can go to your network and say, hey, I'm considering a change. The right relationships change everything in your future, right? We're all one person away from potentially changing our entire life.
That's another thing that just came to my mind as far as justifying the cost of something like MailBoxPower.
Yeah.
What about the people that are in the network that you meet?
Yeah.
They might like Cindy. She's a travel agent.
Yeah.
If I wanted to travel someplace, because travel agents, I don't really know any travel agents right now other than Cindy, to tell you the truth. I don't know.
Yeah, I said that. I said it on a call a couple weeks ago. $49 a month is the pro plan on MailBoxPower, and that gets you access to all the features and benefits. And if we didn't get the features and benefits, $49 a month to have access to the people that are in that group as affiliates and users of the system is really inexpensive coaching.
Yeah.
$49 a month to have access to some world-class salespeople. I have an example. I'm on vacation and I get a message from Jim Packard. Those who don't know, Jim Packard's an incredibly successful individual. Retired. He owns Merv Griffin's old ranch. I mean, he's done pretty good in life, right? And Jim sends me a message as I'm on vacation. Hey, Bo, let's connect. It's been a little too long, right? That's because of being involved in a network.
Right.
That I have access to people that are brilliant, they're authors. There's, 7-figure salespeople. Like, these are people that know how to make things happen. And that access for $49 a month is pretty neat, and as long as you just go in there and listen, you open your ears, it's wonderful. So yeah, another reason to use a system like this. So yeah, you're right. I've expanded my network dramatically. I'm confident I'm going to Vegas in a couple months and I'm going to see some people from the MailBoxPower crew.
I just like that it goes full circle, that it's an online kind of thing that I can run from my phone.
Yeah.
And then it takes it into the physical world, that the QR code can take it back to the digital world if need be.
Absolutely. I was on vacation and the last thing I was going to do was work. I was not going to bring my laptop. I wasn't going to bring a computer or a tablet. Wasn't going to do anything like that. But what was I able to do? Send out some things via my phone. Because I can access this and send a quick thank you, a quick nice to meet you, a quick happy birthday, order gifts through the system using this. It's brilliant.
I used to vacation in Jamaica every year because after the holiday season, around March, April, I'd just unplug and go to Jamaica for 3 weeks. And it's still cold here. So I would send out postcards to all of my connections, letting them know that I'm warm and toasty in the sun. And
I love it. Rubbing it in.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun too.
But to be able to do that by sitting by a pool, right? Or sitting on a deck or a porch and just relaxing and like, I'm going to send somebody a thank you card or a postcard or whatever. I love that technology. Yeah. But then the physical side is when it's received. It's awesome. So, yeah, lots of reasons to use a system like this, right?
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Dude, that's the link if anybody wants to check it out, or you can just give me a call. Go to magicbrad.com or connect with Bo. And then I wanted to pop this back up here too, because this is how it works. You can get more clients when you show that you care.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you in the green room and then let's have a little chit chat.
All right, buddy.
Take off to parts unknown. So
great to catch up with you, man. Take it easy, y'all.
Well, that was fun again. I appreciate you guys watching. And if you want to know more about anything, you can just give me a call and I'll let you know what I know. I'm a wealth of knowledge. It's a legacy in my own mind. So peace, love, and happiness. This is Magic Brad signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be well, be good, be safe. Take care. Be well. Bye. See ya.